My name's host Derek. I'm the host of Talking with Fans People. And I'm also your guide through this tour of history's most amazing occurrences. So I'm pulling up the old live stream here on the old TV screen so I can see the old chats. Should anybody choose to provide some. Um, what I'm going to do now is take you with me, this beverage with me. Actually, first I'll pull a bonger. Then I'll take you with me, this beverage with me, my glasses, which I'll go retrieve from, I believe they're in the Red Boom, also known as the bedroom. And then I will proceed to tell you important details about my incredibly exciting day spent with my beloved angel Rachel. Um, 97 seconds I've been at this so far. And I'm already absolutely exhausted. No, not really. I'm not absolutely exhausted yet. I had got a decent night's sleep last night, and then in addition to that, I got a nice long sleep this morning after I stopped live streaming. Okay, now we'll go outside. Bring you with me. I'll bring this drink with me. I'll get my glasses. And we'll go smoke a cigarette in the garage. And that's going to be pretty special for you.
Can I meet you back in here?
Sure.
Or are you going to be out here for a while?
No, I'm just smoking a quick cigarette. I'll be right back. So, while I'm smoking the cigarette, what I'll do is I'll begin my articulation of the day's exciting events. All right, now we're in the garage. As you may know, if you're a regular keeper-upper with Talking with Famous People, you may be well aware of this at this point. That we, on the car, have a flat tire. Well, as part of this ongoing saga, yesterday, Rachel and I traveled in the Lola Wilderness car to the Triangle Road Market, where we attained some fix-a-flats. A total of four cans in all. I had one from before. We picked up 3 more cans. So, needless to say, this morning it was time to put those cans of Fix-a-Flat into action. I deployed them sometime around noonish or so, I would say. Then I drove the car around one time around the driveway, but I should have driven it around more so that it would spread the Fix-a-Flat around more evenly. But it's fine that I didn't, because the 4 cans of Fix-a-Flat one right after another, was sufficient to inflate the tire so much, in fact, that the tire pressure light went off for the first time in God knows how long. So then Rachel and I said, well, let's see how it goes. Let's give it a shot. Let's drive into town and see what we got. We drove into town and it seemed to hold air fine. But once we got onto the highway and I hit 50 miles per hour, I started getting the speed wobble, which tells me that I didn't drive it around enough after I put it in, right after I put it in, to spread it around evenly in the tire, and it's got an uneven amount in the bottom, one part of the tire, which is causing the speed wobble probably. Since it didn't seem to go down any, it didn't lose any of the tire pressure. So as we're on our way into town, then I pulled over and said, well, why don't you look up a tire place in Mariposa. We went to there, it was right by the supermarket, and we made an appointment to go back tomorrow to get the tire replaced at 2 o'clock. Then we went to lunch at 1850. 1850 was the restaurant where Rachel and I had our rehearsal dinner the day before our wedding, and Rachel's dad was texting her while we were at lunch, and so I said, I'll send them a little video of where we're sitting, because we were sitting at the same exact place where we had been sitting at the rehearsal dinner, incidentally. So we made a little video. I showed Rachel and said, you recognize these seats? And he obviously didn't recognize them. Looks like a nice place, he said. And then she's like, Dad, this is where we had the rehearsal dinner. And he said, oh, I didn't recognize it at all. So then after lunch, because we were too hungry to go straight to the supermarket, then we went shopping after lunch. But the truth is, I don't like to go grocery shopping when I'm full. I only like to go grocery shopping when I'm hungry. So we got through it. And we filled up a cart as full as it could be filled up. Because we were so out of everything. It was like, this shopping trip should hold us for a good, hopefully, close to 2 weeks, I wish that dog would stop barking. It's not the barkiest dog in the world. It's not like constant or anything, but it is annoying when it does happen. What is making that sound? Get away. It was Dumpling. I scared Dumpling away. Dumpling was up there trying to hunt the little bird. Oh, wait. I forgot. Let's go give the woodland friends some cutlets. Well, before we even do the cutlets, let's look at the front left tire of the car and see if it's still holding air, because I don't have any more fix-a-flats. Yeah, it's still holding air. So that's good. Now, well, Lighter's making webs in the asterisk, but preventing me from pushing the cigarette butt in there. Okay, will you stop playing Squeaker's the world's squeakiest squirrel? That Squeakers really wants some cutlets, let me tell you. So, I guess Wednesday part 2 isn't the most enticing title ever for a live stream. That probably explains why it's me, Rachel, and...
No, not me.
Oh, you're not here?
Not yet, no.
Okay, so. But, you know, what people need, if you want to really excite them, is they need to be given the chance to watch you feed cutlets to the woodland friends. And that don't worry, I'm not showing you on the camera. So you can sit immodestly like that if you wish. Okay.
Is that a bird? Or a squirrel?
It's that little squirrel.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute!
Yeah, that's
Oh my gosh!
little guy that I've been communing with lately.
You've been communing with him? Or her?
Yeah. The little ones seem to be less scared of me than the older ones, you know?
That's good.
There's your little squirrel.
We gotta name it, right?
What?
We gotta name it, right?
Yeah, the thing is, I can't seem to continue to tell them apart once they grow up.
I know, once they grow up, it is hard to tell.
Or even when they're not growing up, it's like, is that the same little squirrel? I don't know.
We're all Jonesy.
We'll see if he comes down to partake of the cutlets. And this time, I'm offering him and the other woodland friends straight cutlets. Just uncut cutlets, all sunflower seeds, 100% pure sunflower seeds. That's a snappy looking truck, huh?
Yeah, it was.
Looks all clean and shiny, and
I wasn't sure where it was going. I was like, is it gonna come into here?
oh, there goes a little squirrel over there.
Yeah.
He didn't seem to come down to the wall right away. So it was a different little squirrel. I think it's probably too late for the woodland friends to have dinner right now. They're like very, very old people. After 5:30, it's after dinner time for sure.
Yeah.
So then Rachel and I got back successfully on the iffy tire, and we brought the groceries in, put them away. I brought them in, she put them away. And then we watched a little bit of television. And then we had some sexual intercourse. And now we're live streaming.
Yeah.
And that's the full day.
It's a full day. It was a good full day. And it was a lucky one too. I'm so happy that we were able to make it into town.
I'll consider ourselves fully lucky tomorrow.
No.
If we successfully get the car into town, get the tire changed, etc., then that'd be fantastic.
It would be fantastic. Come on, woodland friends. We believe in you. The little squirrel was letting everyone know.
And it seems like the auto shop in town has quite reasonable prices.
Yeah.
So, you know, hopefully getting the tire replaced and rotated doesn't break the bank.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Let me see where I left my beverage. I think I must have left it in the garage. Of course I have the garage door closed. These pants definitely I need a belt. They are Franklin fall down
Oh,
pants.
they're Franklin fall down pants? Do you want me to get you one?
I'll get one in a second.
Okay.
They basically don't even work as modesty pants because they fall down so easily. So later tonight at 7 o'clock, there's a basketball game between the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings that I'm somewhat interested in seeing.
Yeah.
Not massively interested. I know there's a variety of little tasks that I had intended to get done tonight, but neither Rachel nor I feel like doing anything task wise.
Mm.
So it seems unlikely that we're going to get any tasks done.
Yeah.
I mean, we accomplished a lot today already by going to the grocery store and doing like a good 2 weeks worth of grocery shopping. That's a big task to get done. To get the car successfully operational enough to get into town, make an appointment to get the tire replaced, and have him tell us he's going to be able to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I was not expecting it to be done tomorrow.
I wasn't either. And I guess it's part of why we didn't end up getting more fix-a-flats as well, as I was expecting it to be a longer wait between. I didn't expect the fix-a-flats to work quite so well, I guess.
Yeah, neither did I.
And I bet if I had driven around, yes, I know it's driven, just everybody be quiet. Driven around more after I put it in there, then we probably wouldn't have had that speed wobble. But it's just as well that I didn't do it perfectly because we need to replace that tire.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to be tempted into thinking, well, maybe I don't need to replace the tire at all, like I have been continually for the last year plus that we've had problems with this front left tire. So, I gotta email the doctor tomorrow, or Luminella, the doctor tomorrow, about my refilling my prescription. And I asked the pharmacy today, but they weren't very helpful.
No, they weren't. I was hopeful that they would have some answers for you, but you're probably right in that they really can't give.
At any rate, I was just kind of checking off a box so that I could say to Dr. Ingram, I asked the pharmacy about this stuff. Here's what they said, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can just say, well, they didn't really give any information. And that's just as useful a thing to tell them as anything, really.
Yeah.
So obviously YouTube's not really that into promoting this video right now, maybe.
Oh my gosh, no, it didn't come up for as a thing for me.
Well, guess you win some and you lose some. Anyway, I was right-ish anyway, or right enough about my construction vehicle short. Saw that hit 1,500 views.
Wow.
Whereas 10 seconds of restaurant sound, I don't think did very well. And that's surprising. It's not a very exciting short. And it's just the life of a longtime YouTuber. Hey Lou, how you doing? Are you still feeling sad? Or are you feeling mad or are you feeling glad? Those are the three emotions. Sad, mad, and glad. Potentially also rad. Now that's a chubby looking squirrel.
I think we can probably say that we were.
Yeah, we had a big thing, lots to do with that, I'm sure. Hi, Ruben.
I have to go poopy. Be right back.
All right. I'm gonna move back inside now. I'm done smoking that cigarette. And what I will do. Yes, okay, it's still open. Good. You can never tell without walking around to look at it. I'll put these seeds in the garage because I know from experience if you leave them out here, the squirrels will come and tear open the bag and just get it straight from the bag. And that's how you lose a lot of valuable cutlets. We've got some very spoiled woodland friends around here. One of the reasons why I put out some cutlets was because one of the squirrels was squeaking at me a lot. But then after I put out the cutlets, that squirrel didn't even come down and get them. But this squirrel did. Yes, hello. You love your woodland cutlets so much. You like to eat them with your little hands. Okay, let's go inside. Because you love your woodland cutlets so much. Yes, indeed you do. If I knew a thing about cutlets, then I would know too. 'Cause I already know one thing about cutlets. And that's cutlets are delicious. Mad and sad if those are your options. Found out a good friend died a few weeks back. Wow. Wow. That's harsh. Rachel has already watched you eat like just a little while ago. So just forget it. Just forget it, Mr. Demanding Cat. Well, mad and sad and not so glad. Hello, Violet Ferracio. How are you? it is kind of a dark week globally as well as potentially locally. That's why I try not to pay much attention to politics these days. It's like I unavoidably read things because I look at Google News every day, but I just typically read headlines about politics stuff. I don't really look at the stories. And oh, that's fine. That's fine. It's kind of a low vibes week. You know, I was a little disappointed at the supermarket pharmacy's lack of helping me, but that's fine. It's just one of those things like, you know, we're not that very far away from the cursed day, Tuesday, October 17th. So we're going to have reverberations of badness in the week surrounding that day, probably. I don't know. If I were to ask the question, I could Google this question. How often does October 17th fall on a Tuesday? One would imagine it's once every 7 years, right? It looks good. What looks good? Abe Froman 6. My USC Hawaiian shirt. This is something that was my dad's. One of the shirts, one of the few shirts that seemed to make it up here with me was this shirt. It can't be helped. It can't be helped. Hi, Gris. I hope your evening goes well. It's a leap year? Oh, I see. You're right. Well, you're right because they're on eights. It's a good point. It's a good point. Let's Google it. Let's find out how often October 17th falls on a Tuesday. How often does October 17th fall on a Tuesday? Okay, so there's a website that does this actually. It's funny. All right. It just has these charts you can look at. October 17th. It was a Tuesday. It was last a Tuesday before this year in 2017. Before that, it was 2005, then 2000, then 1995, then 1989, then 1978. So obviously that leap year thing takes a chunk of years periodically, you know? So 1989, what happened October 17th, Tuesday in 1989? An earthquake during World Series Game 1. What happened October 17th, 1995? Let's find out. October 17th, 1995. Let's see. Jail no barrier to fraud in stocks, SEC asserts. All right, let's see about. That's not as dramatically bad as I would have liked. 2000. Okay, so and on October 17th, 2000, the Hatfield rail crash occurred in Hatfield, Hertfordshire. The crash killed 4 people and injured more than 70 and exposed major stewardship shortcomings of the privatized National Railway Infrastructure Company Railtrack. October 17th is Forgiven X Day. It's also National Pasta Day, National Mulligan Day.
So, like, if you're playing
Golf, you get a mulligan, I guess, yeah. Wear something gaudy day. But they don't have linked here.
Yeah.
That it's Shitty Tuesday.
Meow.
I'm going to see a 50-pound average looking brown dog Saturday. Yes, I remember Richie Rich. I remember the cartoon. I watched it as a child. Did you ever watch Richie Rich?
Yep.
Yeah. She watched it too.
Wasn't Richie Rich a comic book?
It was a comic book first, but it was made into a cartoon briefly at least.
Okay.
I never read the comic book, but I saw the cartoon.
I remember the comic book more than I do. I think I saw some episodes of the cartoon. Oh, man.
Every 4th year it changes the day, and we would need 28 years for it to be Tuesday, October 17th again. No. Doesn't work like that. It works out to be 5 years on average, then like 6, and then like 12. I made it to a movie. That's what I saw.
I remember the movie. Yeah, I totally remember the movie.
I'm not sure if the cartoon is correct or not. Maybe it's just a movie I saw. But the
oh, I love you too, Trouble.
What was I gonna say? Average looking brown dog is a good name for something.
Average looking brown dog?
Yeah. That's what you should name your dog if you get that one, is Albdi.
Oh my gosh, that bear that we saw I thought was so cute. Like, I never really thought too much about bears, but seeing one in person, it looked so cute. Especially it was probably like a teen or something. Like you said, an adolescent bear. And it was just like sitting there plopped down with his big ears and like cute little eyes. It was so cute.
I know, at first I thought it was a big furry dog. Well, thank you, Kika Moria McCaskill. No,
yes, Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin was his name.
I like that though, Kevin Macaulay.
It's like when Delilah. I was talking about what's that person's name? I was talking about, Delilah wanted to know. She couldn't remember the name of Burt Reynolds, and she said, "Who's that guy? Reynold Burns?" Reynold Burns is not his name, of course. So really, don't have a whole hell of a lot to talk about this evening. Uh, Feeling less exuberantly, extrovertedly intuitive than I might normally. But I'm kind of killing time till the basketball game comes on, you know.
Can I use your bong for a couple bong rips?
You mean your bomb?
Well, it's not yours because we got that one, but it like sometimes it's like the
No,
bot.
that's fine. You use your bomb. I use mine. That's something we have to get next time we go to Oakhurst. If we get tire fixed, maybe we'll go to Oakhurst, you know?
Yeah.
I still need to grind more weed though. Regardless of anything else. Thanks, Michelle.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Gotta love that FE8.
Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, I got it. It is a compliment.
Yes,
It
yes,
is.
it is.
And we appreciate it.
We
Thank
do.
you. Just in an unusual format.
Yes. Chawa says we are going away for Thanksgiving, but we'll be back on November 27th. Hopefully, to seeing you guys again soon.
Just say, yeah, that sounds good to us too. We'll keep you updated on our schedule. Something like that.
Okay.
I know, so rare. Those count twice. They're like Wednesdays for Wonder Points. A compliment from an ESTJ counts twice as much as a regular compliment. Hope none of your pets die. Happy Halloween. What?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I didn't know the two went together. I mean, I really hope that your pet doesn't die too.
But she said not.
No, I hope it. Oh. I hope none.
Yeah, you do hope our pets die?
No.
Well,
No.
fortunately, Rachel, whatever Michelle Way hopes has nothing to do with our pets' well-being. So,
Okay.
you know, people say, "Oh, our thoughts and prayers are with you." Well, those aren't going to do us any good at all. That's what I had to say about thoughts and prayers. Those are both things that don't help. All right, so we're going to pull a bowl from I'm sorry you went away for Canadian Thanksgiving. That was your first mistake. You should only go away for American Thanksgiving. I said thoughts. I said thoughts and prayers, not words. Words matter. Thoughts aren't words. They're unspoken words. Words matter a lot. Thoughts and prayers don't. Words matter more than anything.
Yes, I do. You go away for Christmas? Like every year? Do you go to the same place or do you change?
Christmas isn't American or any other nationality. There's no such thing as American Christmas or Canadian Christmas. It's just international Christmas.
Yeah, it is. And that's I was thinking about the other day how Christmas is one of the holidays that all around the world is celebrated usually the same day.
Now, I will agree that Boxing Day is not something we have in America, but it's something they have in England and in Canada.
Oh, they have it in England too?
Yeah. I think so. If there are any British people here who want to correct me, go ahead. Oh. Well, you know, that's not a terrible joke to call it American Christmas. I'm actually rather impressed with that joke.
Yes.
I'm sorry to hear all your family's dead. Pretty much most of my family's dead too, so. Yeah, that's fine. It's just your obligations. You're fine, Michelle Way. You are 100% excused. I guess this is really kissy, huh?
It is.
You don't need to smooch me so much. Alright, let's try that. See how that works. So they don't have any good bongs in the smoke shops in Mariposa. It's the one thing that Mariposa does not have anything good about. You know? It's like everything in Mariposa is better than every place else, except for the smoke shops.
Yeah, except for the smoke shops.
They're shitty. Why do they have so many bongs that look like penises?
Penises! I noticed that too!
Like,
who wants to smoke out of that?
Yeah, I don't know why they think that's such a good idea. This bong, meanwhile, is just hugely wasteful.
I know, it gets stuck at the bottom of it.
That's what I was saying before.
Yeah.
Let's just share that.
Alright, let's share it.
This bong is useless. This probably is actually a dab setup anyway.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I think it is.
So, we just take turns with the old bong over.
You have to, I don't clear mine.
There. Now it's cleared. That was a big cost for little Eric.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, this is not the most exciting live stream that's ever occurred here on Talking with Famous People. But I've got some good news for you. It's probably not the least exciting. There's probably been 10 minutes. You lucky Lou, you. Your bong takes 10 minutes to clog? This thing you can only pull like 2 bong rips out of it before it clogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get lots of green in the water too, but we've got such an abundance of weed, we don't even care.
No.
Yeah. Although, I mean, we're burning through it, don't get me wrong.
I like to not think about it.
We got another full pound that we haven't opened, and we'll grow our own. Come spring, So we should be fine. We got enough weed to get us through the winter, hopefully the spring, into the summer, you know. At which point, I think what we should do is try to grow like 2 plants in big pots and 1 in the ground. See how that turns out. It would probably be good to just plant it on the hill in the back. Probably dig a big hole first, put a fish at the bottom of the hole, fill up the hole mostly with potting soil, and then plant a seedling that once it gets to be yeah size, you know, in that hole. We can start the seeds indoors in the winter under some lights or just in the windowsill or whatever, and then try to get them fairly sizable before we move them outside in the spring, you know?
Yeah.
The ones in the pots we'll be able to control when they bud because we could cover them with trash cans probably if it doesn't get too wide. Beauty face doing? Are you talking about my beautiful wife Rachel and her beauty face doing?
I do have a lipstick in my hand that I was gonna do my face with.
Oh, maybe that's what Leora Rodriguez is referring to.
Yeah, maybe.
Here's not beauty face doing. We got beauty face and not so beauty face.
I think you're beauty face.
Thanks, darling. You're a wonderful lady. You'll be able to better do beauty face with the light on, I think.
Yes.
So let's devote this part of the live stream to Rachel's makeup tips. What are
Oh my
we?
gosh, I'm so zoomed in.
What are we looking at today on Rachel's makeup tips?
Well, I believe that going into berries for fall and winter is a nice change of pace. Not revolutionary, but still, you can kind of wear darker colors in the winter and fall.
So what brand are we using today?
This is Merit Beauty.
Merit Beauty. Is this a very high-end product or is this an affordable product that we can all possibly enjoy?
I actually think it's an affordable product. It's probably $10 more than a L'Oreal that you get at the drugstore. So it's about $10 more Merit than L'Oreal. However, this is vegan and cruelty free. I feel dumb saying that, but it is something that I care about. I do tend to enjoy using cruelty free, especially products rather than the old style. So if you want some product with integrity, it's worth it. It's worth the extra $10 in my mind.
All right, well, let's see you apply it to your lips.
Okay.
Let's see the technique that we use.
So I like to, at my Cupid's bow, draw an X.
I'm assuming the Cupid's bow is a little dip in the middle of the lip.
Yep, you got it. And then I fill in the top and then the bottom.
That's some excellent application techniques. Very impressed.
Yeah. And then this is also nice because it creates a stain after you use it so you don't lose any color. It's nice. It's well worth it, honestly. I never was a lipstick girl. I always was focused on my eyes, but lately I've been wearing lipstick.
It's been more lipsticky.
Yeah.
My mom used to have lipstick.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I remember her putting it on.
that's nice.
She wore makeup at various occasions.
She must look so pretty.
I suppose she must have. Okay, now it's time for a cigarette. So let's go outside and have one. What eyeshadow palettes do you enjoy, Rachel? We'll find out when we get outside here. Personally, I like mine to be camel, cereal, beige, and Indian summer.
You know, I don't have a lot of eyeshadow palettes. I just got the very hyped Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. It's definitely high end. However, the colors are just, the color story is like phenomenal. It's like, it really is every kind of nude that you could look for any occasion. And it's like the shimmers are so fine and iridescent that they kind of look wet on the eye. Again, I haven't played with it much yet, but another good one that you get, or I don't know if you could get it anymore, but was Urban Decay Naked 2, the second palette. That was also cool toned because I have very pink skin. So a lot of cooler colors look better on me than warm color tones. But yeah, if you're willing to like splurge a little bit on yourself, I would say the Natasha Denona is the best, followed by the Naked 2 palette, followed by the Naked 3 palette, which is all rose gold colors, which is really pretty. I also got Rowan. Ooh, the little birdies, maybe going for the cutlets. Rowan, Roen, eye palettes. Yeah, those are really good too.
My BF and I broke up, lol, so not settled. What did I say?
But enjoying Chicago. So, did you go out to Chicago and then have him break up to you?
See your boyfriend and then have him break up with
Yeah, is that what happened? If that's what happened, I am so sorry. I mean, I'm so sorry that you guys broke up. That, yes, oh my god, I am so, Kimmy9, I'm so sorry.
And then the worst of all, I bet he pulled this. Well, I wanted to break up with you in person. That's pretty fucked up. He should tell you before you go on that trip, it seems to me.
I would think so too. I was broken up with basically, yeah, broken up with, yes, one on a trip that I had to Binghamton, and like it was just so fucked up. It's just like you said, like the excuse I wanted to do it in person, like don't like make me spend my money
To get broken up with.
yeah.
Right. That's exactly what you should tell him.
Oh my gosh.
That was fucked up to make you spend your money to get broken up with. He did a 180 on you.
Oh my god.
So he was like, "Come here so that I can propose to you," and instead he broke up with you, or what?
What the hell? That's so messed up.
That would be a 180. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, like.
I hope you gave him the what for. That's gonna be traumatizing for a long time to come.
Yeah, like honestly, if I were you, I wouldn't even want to go to Chicago ever again because I would have like memories.
Right, it'd be very SI triggering. Well, sometimes life gives you lemons out of which you cannot make any lemonade. This is one of those times. Well, and it's gonna carry over into your next relationship probably. You're gonna be traumatized and afraid of that happening again and stuff. Shit like that happens, Jeremiah Fix. It happened to Rachel too. You know, she was with a well, I mean, besides that Bingham thing that she's talking about, it also happened that she was ghosted at the end of her relationship.
Yeah.
So I know that it carries over at least somewhat into the next relationship too. Sorry it happened, but it's gonna be you're gonna be dealing with this for a while. You don't get over something like this very quickly. This is a huge like trauma to your life.
Yeah, it is. It really is. So like I don't mean to, don't answer if you don't feel comfortable. But like that's good, Kimi9. I think it could be so liberating to not date for a while.
Name a car for an edit. Like, what car should you edit? How about the Ford Focus?
Now, do you like PT Cruisers?
No, I don't like PT
Okay,
Cruisers.
so PT Cruisers can have an edit too.
What's an airbet? I don't know what that is. A car? I named Ford Focus and PT Cruiser.
Dating's not lame. It's not that, Hero Lamb. It's good to date. Or, it's good you just to regain social skills with someone else. It's good practice. But after a traumatic breakup, it's hard. I mean, oh my god. You act so like the insecurities that come with it. So, Kimi9, do you suspect any foul play? As in, do you think that he found someone else, or what did he say? Like, what was his excuse? Carbon dating. Carbon dating is lame.
Well, I think Hero Lamb. I think that
whoa. Wow, he just freaked out and bailed?
I think that men who have a relationship orientation are much more likely to say dating is lame than women who have a relationship orientation. So even though I don't think when Rachel said dating's not lame, she meant like she'd rather be dating or anything.
Oh no, no, the dating game. I mean, it sucks, but um, if you don't like, if you're at a point in your life where you like have not that many friends, it can be a good way to socialize, get out there a little bit, and then also like you can easily find what you don't want in people too on dates. I mean, I don't like the dating game either. I didn't like being in it, but um I felt it was kind of like necessary.
Yeah, it's pretty rare that you can accomplish something like Rachel and I accomplished, where she knew me very well
Mhm.
before she got with me. Although I don't think she necessarily referenced her personal experience a lot anyway, but she had a lot of possibility to get to know me ahead of time.
Yeah, I did. And you were there with me for a really tough time, and that really helped me trust you. And um, I was able to be honest and vulnerable with you from the beginning, and that really helped me grow trust with you when going out to California for the first time. Very much not good and bad to boot. Oh, Kami9. I was just thinking about makeup. Um, ColourPop Shock Shadows. They're like $7 and they look gorgeous on the eyes. I highly recommend if you find an Ulta in in Chicago, um, go to the ColourPop section, look at the shock shadows, $7. They give the most beautiful wet eye shadow looks. And there's plenty of colors too. So you can have fun. You know, it's not a palette, but they're singles. But still, you can have some fun with that.
Well, it's been a pretty dark week, you know.
That I'm telling you, that solar eclipse.
It's from Friday to Friday. It's been a dark week.
Yeah.
So I think we may have a couple more days of it.
So you guys were friends. Yes, Luminix, that is a new thing. Wet eye. A wet eye look is one of a shadow, an eyeshadow that shimmers, has such fine shimmer that it looks like it's almost like a gloss on your eye.
Yeah, Alta's a makeup store. My daughter worked there.
Oh, she did?
Uh huh.
That's a good place for her to work. You get discounts on makeup.
She worked there after she worked at Starbucks, I think.
Hmm.
Um, and even when nothing especially bad has happened, like it's been an emotional week, despite not really anything happening. I mean, sure, we got a flat tire, but um, it's been like an emotional processing week or something.
Yeah.
I got heaps of propaganda. We're in 2024. I've got heaps of propaganda.
Honestly, I think people would love it. So Kami9, Oh my God, Luminix. So if you can go on Ulta.com and see what they have online too. But if you go to Ulta by you, um, and you feel like dressing up your eyes with some shimmer, the ColourPop Shock Shadows are totally where it's at.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Um,
so so Kim and I, you guys were friends for 4 years before dating, and how long were you dating for? Not that it matters, obviously. I'm just curious because it baffles me when people act this way. 2 years.
it was long distance the whole time.
I like that you like to look Luminix.
I tell you one thing that this is gonna do, Cami Nine. It's gonna make Rachel worry that she'll say at some point this evening, "You're not gonna do to me what Cami
Oh
Nine's
my
boyfriend
God.
did, are you?"
I would be so fucked up.
Of course, I'm not going to do anything of the sort. That's crazy. It's just like. But if it was long distance the whole time, I guess in that sense, it's like, well, you experienced a relationship that was fine when it was long distance and you moved in with it, and it wasn't fine anymore, right?
Yep, that's exactly what happened. What Eric says is right, Kimi Nine. I had a long distance relationship. We were long distance probably 3 years, and we saw each other every month because I worked a 9 to 5 job. So when I had vacation days, or if it was like a long holiday, I would take a day off, or I didn't even need to take a day off. Um, I would just do a 3 day weekend, um, and go and see him. And then we were talking about getting engaged. And I was like, look, if we're talking about getting engaged, like, he lives in North Carolina, and I was in New York. So we were talking about getting engaged, and I was like, look, if we're talking about getting engaged, we have to live together. Like, I don't care, like, about, like, if it's okay to move in before you get married. Like, I need to know what it's like to live with. We need to know what it's like to live together. And oh my God, when you had a 180 flip, I had a 180 flip that time too. Once we moved in together, all like the love was gone. Like, it he was overworking and never spending time with me, getting ultra he got ultra jealous a lot of times. It turned out to be not a good living situation, and my parents really wanted me to work things out with him, but we weren't good for each other, and living together really was a deal breaker. And then the time that I went to Binghamton, so I was in college in Pennsylvania. I was about 8 hours away from Binghamton, and I bought a $98 ticket to visit my then boyfriend in Binghamton. It was Valentine's Day weekend, and he broke up with me. It's like with you, like, how can you break up with someone? I just and just like waste their time and their money. I'm so angry for you. I'm so freaking angry for you. Like, you were treated so unfairly. He's gonna get karma, I'm telling you. Hey, faceless emoji face. XD. Well, that was never love then. Love is giddy, innocent, and pure and beautiful. Yeah, no, I don't think it was love. You know, we loved each other to a degree. We knew each other like uh, Kami9 for 4 years. Um, oh, he still has most of your stuff. You have to go get that. Is it stuff that you like need? Because oh my god, it's not even like you have a friend there that you can go with to act as a a middleman. That stinks. You moved all your stuff? Oh my god, what a fucking dick. What a shit move. I can't believe that. He has most of her stuff, and
I've
she
seen
moved
this.
all her stuff.
It's insane. I face a 60. I wouldn't take him back. Don't take him back, though. But what are you gonna do now? And that's fucked up.
No home. Like, that's cruel. That's not right. If nothing happened, he should have the common courtesy to and respect to be like, look, you know, I don't see a future with us together, but you were planning on moving here, so um I'm gonna give you time to find your own place or whatever.
Right. Well, I'm really sorry that this happened to you.
No, you don't have to don't take him back. He doesn't deserve it. But I mean, you deserve your stuff back, and he fucking like I mean I would absolutely be like, look, if you want to sleep on the couch, you know, or that's the least. If you want to sleep on the couch and look for places while you're here, that's just common decency. Especially if nothing bad, like there was no cheating, he didn't lie to you about anything, like
Yeah, betrayal is not something you can move past, right? Well, the thing is, here,
yeah.
Lamb, not everybody is driven by their emotions.
Yeah.
Like, I've had a rough week because I've been very weirdly FI about Rachel all week. Like, jealous and fussy and needy and just um, like I said to Rachel when she got up today, I was like, I'm sorry, FI does not look good on me. It's I have a lot of feels this week for some reason, and they don't make me behave particularly well.
But like I don't mind it. I don't mind you being needy.
No, I don't think you minded, but you know, um, being jealous isn't helpful at all because there's nothing to be jealous of. We've been together for 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's not like I'm
Yeah.
jealous about anything going on currently.
No, this is the most relationship I've had. It's just the most in every way relationship I've ever had.
Yeah.
And happy.
Well, jealous, fussy, needy. That's you on a good day. That's not me on a good day. Is the thing. Um, uh, Thinking about her ex-boyfriends from before the relationship,
They all were fucking terrible.
and
My
having,
dad fucking hated those dudes.
yeah, well, point is, it's like I like to live in a world where I pretend Rachel. Yeah, sure, insecurity, I guess, is what it is, really. You know, insecurity, fear.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But it's just, it's what happens when an FI polar person has so many feelings that they become conscious, they get like diverted into other things, right? Like, it's called retroactive jealousy. They have a term for it. It's not healthy at all. So it's like
I don't like to make
it's
people
not my it's not her problem at all. It's my problem entirely. But
Well, it's not, it's not highly advisable to like just talk about like old relationships. Like I don't want to,
right, we've been talking about old relationships a lot this week.
Yeah.
It seems like by inevitability almost. It's like here comes Cammy Nine with something that's extremely relevant to something from Rachel's past,
Yeah.
and I just have to say, well, this is more important to provide this relevant information than it is to avoid hearing about an ex-boyfriend, you know.
Man.
And the thing is, it's strange because it's not like any reality has changed. I've known about all these ex-boyfriends before. I've not learned any new information. So it's just like it's emotion processing week or something.
Yeah, it is. I'm telling you, it's the eclipse. The eclipse makes solar eclipses, especially, make people all weird.
Yeah, well, Lou echoes your sentiments here by saying the eclipse kicked up a ton of relational stuffs and things.
Yeah, and it did between us a little bit too.
It did.
So,
Yeah, I think to ultimately to our benefit
yes.
to talk some of those things out.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like note that it took 4 years for me to really get around talking through with Rachel how much uh, Kimberly's assault on my masculinity damaged my identity and contributed to insecurities and stuff. You know,
She's a rotten son of a.
yeah, she's a rotten son of a gun, all right.
Would you like salad
Um,
or anything?
I'll have a little salad, not too much, please.
Okay.
But I would also like a beverage, another beer maybe.
Sure.
A total eclipse of the chart to bring light to that which needs healing. Yeah, and you know,
Would you like a beer?
yes, please. I feel very fortunate that Rachel and I in this relationship are in such a safe place, not just relationally to one another, but as a couple of people living a life in the world, you know. So, well, I trust Cammy's intuition about her own relationship rather than somebody who knows nothing about the two of them and his intuition about that. I would suggest that having an intuition about that and the absence of any confirming information and in the face of directly contradictory information would be the use of intuition tantamount to reckless. My husband bought Jeremy's he him nuts and she her nutless microaggression sized chocolate bars. Well, that would comprise a microaggression. I agree with you for sure, Harold. I don't think anybody's disagreeing with that here particularly. But I I would also point out that there are men and women in the world who don't place a high importance on meaning, and for those individuals, physical acts are both more important and less meaningful. So you know, it's easy for insecure, intuitive males to judge, but by and large, I think we're better off not moralizing to other people what they do with their bodies. Well, at least you found it, Lou. At least you found it. Presumably, you're off work now. You're probably home. That's got to be nice, right? You're not at work. But it's like, well, I mean, I never found it fun, you know. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I maybe found it like satisfying in the sense that I proved I could be reproductively viable. But I guess the slabs dictated that this sort of topic was necessarily going to come up in the live stream because I feel myself desensitizing a little bit. Anyway,
Hmm.
well, here I am.
And like,
Just, it's like everybody has plenty of insecurities. We don't need to kick people in whatever their insecurities are.
hmm.
Every virgin gets de-virginized at some point. A considerable amount of the people are women here. Maybe that's their story. You don't need to shame them for something that happened a long time ago. Well, like I said, Hero Lamb, we all make mistakes, right? You just want to judge this woman for being easy, but you don't know the context of any given situation in which that occurs. It's like maybe she was naive, maybe she was just had figured like, okay, I'm old enough and I don't want to lose my virginity to somebody I care a lot about. I want to lose it to somebody I don't care about for whatever reasoning she had. It's not our place to judge other people for that shit, really. Okay, well, here, Lamb, what I'm aware of right now is that you're going to be very fussy about your girlfriend's past. You know, you're showing pre retroactive jealousy.
Like I myself wasn't like that, but I know I have good friends who were like that. And like yeah, like I didn't think it was the best thing for them to do, but like like Eric says, like Eric, like people lose their virginity in many different ways. Like it's gonna happen at some point, some way.
Yeah. So, well, it's fine that you brought it up because, like, I may find the subject of sex outside of my relationship with Rachel to be inherently scary a topic or triggery a topic. Um, it's probably the Slavs just saying you need to desensitize about this. Okay, well, I never was. So the thing is here, Lamb, there's a difference between somebody like you who's been, who slept around a bunch and is male and then has decided to condemn that practice versus somebody like me who never felt confident about it and and just like maybe to a certain extent views you as the problem of who does that to a bunch of girls, you know, and then grows out of it but judges the girls you used to do that to or something. So that's, if that's the case, then that's not very cool. Regardless, I don't like to think about outside of relationship sex at all because it invariably makes me think about Rachel and her past partners.
Michelle Way, it's funny that you say that because I have heard from like just from looking at YouTube and people talking about their lives on YouTube. A lot of them say that dating is horrific lately. I don't know what it is. What's different?
Well, fortunately, we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you were portraying them as lost a little while ago. You were portraying them as whores. I mean, I think it's just the case that for intuitives in general, but maybe for everybody, love is scary, you know? And for intuitives, I think especially, excepting ENFJs and ENTJs, I think sex is scary, you know?
Yeah, it is.
And, and we have a lot of our identity as relationship partners tied in with sex. And then it's also an area where I think it's comparable to body image stuff in terms of the harm that a lot of media messaging, you know. I think body image is certainly an area where messaging has done a lot of harm over the years, but I think sex is another area where it's done a lot of harm, probably. Kind of normalizing one frame of reference on it at the expense of another. It's not so much that you're ESFP frame of reference on sex is wrong. It's just that it seems to be more normalized than a more SE backstack frame of reference. But that's just one of the many harms that occurs in a world in which cognitive functions, properly explained, don't comprise the meta frame. It's like if people could understand why and how they're different from certain kinds of narratives that are normalized, presented as a norm in which people are supposed to meet. I know I always had a lot of issues with whether I was manly enough because I didn't view myself as, I don't think women especially viewed me as a desirable catch or anything, and I certainly didn't slay the puss or anything like that. So, um, I guess that's why I still am subject to retroactive jealousy. I want all of Rachel, past, present, and future. But, you know, I guess part of what's going on here this week as well is with Lou and Cammy showing up. It's like the slab saying, Eric, you need to stop being such a baby. You have things perfect. You got a wonderful relationship, and you need to get over this shit that's totally on you and it's not healthy. Stop judging myself about what? I'm not really judging myself about anything. Or are you talking to somebody else? I mean, what I had to do was kind of shake off what I call the curse of Kimberly, you know? Nobody isn't No, I looked it up actually. I researched I didn't know the term at the time, but I researched retroactive jealousy, and basically, it's inherently imposing an unreasonable expectation on your partner that they can do something about their past that's different than just being with you and loving you and everything, you know? So, whenever you expect the impossible from somebody, it's obviously bad. And people can't change their past, and it won't do any good or be healthy at all for you in this relationship to be jealous about their past. Besides which, Rachel's past is quite tame compared to, I'm sure, most women of her age. So even if I wanted to somehow, for some reason, affirm the idea of being jealous about past, you have to affirm against actual alternatives, not against some ideal of a 34-year-old virgin that I get with or whatever. That's just insane, right? She was 34 when I got with her. She's 38 now. Well, you typically can't look to abusers for closure. They're going to deny you that. That would imply accountability, you know? Yeah, I agree with you there, here, Lamb. Rachel and I were having this conversation earlier in the car today about how I feel lucky that I have cognitive functions to help me understand what's going on with my FI, even though it's bipolar, somewhat. You know, like I can maybe not in the moment, but with a little reflection, I can recognize something as like displacement, like um, like feeling jealous, having like intrusive thoughts about something, but then it displacing into being irritated at Rachel about something else. Like I'm pretty good at keeping that stuff in check because I have cognitive functions to help explain why I'm so bad at understanding my emotions, etc., and just not give any credence to them inherently. Uh, it's also the case that this week represents an unusually long chunk of time, mostly not on amphetamines. Although I did get some on Thursday night, they only lasted like 2 days, and um, I didn't really have even a sleepy week after that. It was just like I didn't feel sleepy the next couple of days after that even. So I think what's happened is Rachel and I finally reached kind of a lull period in our life. First we had moving in and all the shock of all of that stuff, and then getting ready for the wedding. And then Corey was here for a while, and then we were recovering from that crazy party week. And then we were getting ready to go to the Johnny show. We were back from the Johnny show, and then we finally hit this lull where we have a little chance to reflect, which we haven't had a lot of chance to do the last 4 years, And it was just the slab saying, okay, it's time for you to actually get around to processing some old stuff. And I think Rachel and I both did a little bit of processing of old stuff this week. I think I did more processing of old stuff than she did. And that processing of old stuff on my end made me more like unreservedly, vulnerably engaged with Rachel. And so all that vulnerability displaces into someplace not so positive, like retroactive jealousy. Which I think is pretty good analysis of FI for an FI polar guy, actually. So I'm going to take your compliment, Heroland, and high five you. And I also think that what Rachel and I both periodically refer to as feeling codependent, that's really just FI creeping up so conscious that we're actively feeling FI rather than a cool detachment of FI 6-7 people. At least INFJ and ENTP normally have, you know. I was saying to Rachel, how torturous it must be to have FI front stack. To constantly know what you feel all the time. Oy, oy, oy. What a difficult life that must be. But I guess they're used to it, you know. I'm pleased that we got so much stuff done today, but we still have more stuff to do tomorrow. And, you know, I think really we both kind of benefit from a little bit of a speed run occasionally. Helps us get a bunch of stuff done in like a week, and then, you know, it also is good because it kind of dampens down my emotions. So that's helpful that when I don't feel like, so in other words, I am capable of accomplishing things without Rachel beside me. Which, like today is finally, eventually, I got up from a nap and I said, all right, Eric, just, I know she's not awake yet, but you have to go put in the tire stuff now. And I made myself do it. I was very proud of myself for that. But anyway, when I'm on speed, I get up and get stuff accomplished without having to wait for Rachel. And in fact, certain kinds of things that I want to accomplish, I'm much more likely to do on amphetamines because they're things that are best accomplished without Rachel, like working on this manifesto video that I have a bunch of pieces already currently lined up in Windows Movie Maker. I don't really feel like working on it right now because I don't really feel like doing much or anything without Rachel except maybe live streaming like in the morning before she gets up, or you know.
I feel you.
So I think I'm gonna finish this cigarette and head on inside and maybe wrap up this stream because I'd like to watch the basketball game
Oh yeah, me too.
between the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings. Both of which are equidistant from us. We have plans to go see a San Jose Sharks game sometime in November maybe, or we'll see exactly when it happens, but tickets should be cheap because at least here at the beginning of the season is not looking good for the Sharks. They're 0-1-2 currently. They were up when I went to bed last night 3-2 in that game. They ended up losing 6-3 to the Hurricanes.
Oh man. Hurricanes are a good team.
Yeah, they are. The disparity in shots was a little demoralizing for a prospective San Jose Sharks fan. What metaphor? Not an octave lover? It's inconvenient at times, but if you meet other FI users, you have a relationship others can't have who don't have that FI. Yeah, I believe it. Uh, and I know those feelings of time when you just feel like you're just happy to be with the other person, lying in bed, chatting about whatever. Those are FI moments, good FI moments. It's much better now, here I am. The new Windows Movie Maker is pretty good app. I like it. It can do everything basically you want it to do, and it's separated out most of the things that it does into separate sub apps. So it's pretty lean. It's a lot better than working in Premiere Pro, I'll tell you that. Premiere Pro is so clunky. I'm just not doing the level of video production that's required for Premiere Pro anyway, you know. I don't need to have multiple audio tracks mixing and all these different MIDI ads. Most of the things you can do in Windows Movie Maker anyway. All right, well, it's good timing for ending the stream because my phone's running out of electricity anyway. You know, it's interesting that they don't really make a plug-in-the-wall version of mobile phones. They all have a battery in them. Ah, yeah, nice slot is. All right then. Goodbye, everybody. Good night and good luck. I love you all and wish you well.